Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Terry. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing?
Okay, thank you.
I'm on in a patient's sitting area, so my camera will be off, and sometime my microphone will be off if a patient walk in.
Okay, of
Yeah.
course. Yes. Yes. Good. Um, yeah. Yes, you can. I'm gonna put my mic and camera off now, Terry, as well, and just while we wait for the others, okay?
Sound good, sound good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Uh,
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Morning. And
How's everybody
everyone.
doing?
Good. How are things going with you?
As expected, they're pretty busy. This countdown to go live's getting shorter.
And the days go faster.
They really do. They really do. It feels like the sun is setting so much faster that the lack of daylight is not my favorite time of year.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a beautiful sunrise this morning, so
I do
enjoy
love football season, but the lack of daylight is not my favorite part. Helen, you got that cast off or one more week?
One more week, Jeff.
One
Yes,
more
one more
week.
week. The countdown is on.
There we go.
I was just telling people my emails get shorter and shorter and more cryptic.
Back to long emails once it's off?
Oh, I hope not.
All right, guys. We're a couple minutes after we can get everyone caught up that joins us late. Rachel was kind enough to send out an agenda yesterday. This is what we have on the docket. We have a couple of guests here, or at least one guest, one from scheduling. Saad, you guys have probably talked to or met Saad, hopefully in some sort of capacity. He is our workflow lead. Is it just patient access overall, Saad? So both covering both registration and scheduling?
Correct, yes. Workflow
Excellent.
lead for Reg and Sketch. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
We also have Tammy Peterside here to talk about the working group membership in Lumio Library. And then I will be taking the last topic of EEG and sleep lab order review and validation. So we did something similar with EMG, making sure that we had the correct orders and that they were looking the way that we would want them to. So this time we will focus on EEG and sleep lab. But to start off today, we are going to let Saad go through scheduling and potentially demonstrate to you guys things that you want to see. So we've done a lot, Saad, in this group. I'll give you some background on the orders to scheduling piece. So when we have a diagnostic, not a diagnostic imaging order, but an ambulatory diagnostic order for a special procedure or test, and when it gets ordered by a Lumio physician, and then that scheduling request is generated. So I think, if you don't mind, sir, what would be helpful for this group, and I'll also let the group chime in, would be to see the side when things originate on the scheduling side and we are going to directly book that special test or ambulatory diagnostic. So anything from an EMG, an EEG, a sleep study, and then we also have PFTs or the PFT lab in that group as well. So I would let you guys show that, but I will take any input from the group, and I'm sure Saad would as well, on what you guys would potentially want to see from a scheduling perspective or what questions you have related to scheduling in your areas. Thoughts or input before we let Saad take it away on showing you guys the direct scheduling of these tests and procedures? Nothing major?
Sorry, Jeff. I'm just having issues with my computer right now. It just restarted. I'm logged in with my phone.
Okay, no worries. How about from the group, any areas that you want to start with from a scheduling perspective? We do have EEG and sleep lab on the agenda for today. Would you guys want to see scheduling in those areas? Would you want to see the PFT lab? What makes the most sense on potentially what you're scheduling and receiving either referrals or requisitions from outside of the Lumio organizations.
I was just thinking with Terry there, maybe there's some EKG, ECG ones that I don't know how those are scheduled.
So we have. Oh, go ahead.
So, for EKG, most of the patients are already like inpatient or outpatient in the merge. And when we have outpatient based upon the clinic, the scheduling is done already by the physician secretary. So we only receive orders to go perform ECG. So we do not participate in scheduling.
Okay, do we want to start with an area? I mean, we looked at it for EMG last week. So do you want to look at EEG, Helen? Would that help you?
Perfect. Yeah. I don't want to hog all the time, but I'm happy if we do.
No, it's okay. We can look at other areas as well. Saad, you just let me know once you're up and running, sir, and we'll get the screen share turned over to you.
Yeah, it's just my computer started Windows updates, Jeff, so
Oh goodness.
a
Okay.
few minutes.
Okay.
I apologize.
I might be able to open up the appointment book and let you direct me around. Can see if that would work for now. Okay. So on which book does EEG fall under?
Probably is under neurology. I'll have to check. But can you cancel out of this and just go to the appointments first and put EEG?
Absolutely. So we have EEG appointment location, KGH.
Electroencephalography, KGH.
Yeah, Tammy, that's a good idea. You're in the chat. If you want to start with your portion, I think that would give Saad a minute to get up and running. Let me stop sharing and I'll let you take over.
No problem. I'm having a bit of camera issues. I put it on and it just turns off itself. So yeah. But good morning, everyone. My name is Tammy Peterside and okay.
Tammy, I don't think we're able to hear you. I don't know if that's just my end.
Sorry, my computer just blacked out.
It's the day of technology. It's winning. We can hear you now, though.
Okay, can you see me though? Because I can only see 3 people on my screen, which is really weird.
We can't see you, but that's okay.
Okay, we're gonna make this work. I can't also like click on anything on my screen to share, so we'll just talk through it. I know like in our sort of first meetings, we talked about like the Lumio library. So has anyone had a chance to go into the Lumio library to see how things are? Do you have any issues logging in to the Lumio library or accessing it? Has everyone created their accounts? And because I can't see anyone's hands or thumbs up, please feel free to unmute yourself and just jump in.
Yes, I have. You have to just go and log in, get the login things. Yeah, I have done that. I don't know if everyone knows the process to get it, Tammy.
Okay. I would love to show you the process if the technology worked with me, but thank you so much for going in and looking through the library. A lot of resources there. If anyone has any issues logging in, do let us know, because sometimes like on the back end, we have to manually approve access to the library. So it might take a while. And then I know that sometimes there's also uh, a a confusion between like signing up and logging in. So, but if anyone has any issues, definitely just speak up now. And we'll make it a priority to just go through the library, which was one of the things I wanted to show you, but here we are. And then also just wanted to remind everyone about like membership and also the roles as representatives of the working group. So just a pulse check, a roundtable. How has people been sharing the things that have been coming out from these meetings back to their organization? Has there been any sharing? Have you taken it back to your colleagues? Any feedback on that end?
I can go. Yes, Rachel shared the EMG one with me, and it was actually very helpful. We watched the video together with the team, had some questions, and then when Jeff was able to join for another session, so we didn't hog everyone's time, we were able to review it together. So it just made it much more efficient. And I think if it's focused in that way, it was helpful for us.
Thank you. That's great to hear that sharing is happening, because that's really the point of the working groups. I don't know how much involvement people have been with the project, but initially there was like a SME, a subject matter expert representation from each org. But what we found that there is that, there wasn't representation at every org. And so, sometimes some people would just not be able to make it because of other priorities, which rightfully so too. But we really want to encourage that feedback loop. So, taking that information from the working group, sharing it back with your colleagues, getting their feedback regarding the information that was shared. And that would help to inform like not just agenda topics, but also understand what the needs are from the different organizations. So thank you so much for sharing that. Does anyone have any other feedback or ways they've been sharing the message in their organization? And correct me if I'm wrong. So the first person who spoke was from KHSC. I'm sorry, I can't see people's names either. First person was
Sorry, Tammy, it was Helen Driver. We're at Kingston General Hospital and Hotel Du, and EMG also goes to Providence Care Hospital.
Awesome. Any representation from, say, Quinty? How have people been sharing at Quinty? For Rockville? for Perks and Smith Falls? Any of the other organizations?
This is Joyce. I'm from Perth Smith Falls.
Hey, Joyce.
The last time was EMG, so we don't do that here. I tried to get into the teams and view the recap, but it says that I don't have permission to do that.
Oh, okay. So
I'll connect with you, Joyce, on that and see about getting you access.
That's great. Thank you.
thanks, Joyce. And Rachel, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the information is also posted on the Lumio Library in our page too. So Joyce, do you have access to the Lumio Library?
Yes, I was into the Lumio Library a week or two ago, but I didn't see anything that was newer than what I had already seen. So,
okay. Because I know that all the recordings and the minutes, as well as an agenda is also put there. So it might have just been a bit of timing when you checked. So, but yeah,
I don't think
thank
it was
you.
posted yet. Yes, that's true. Okay.
Yeah. But thanks, Rachel. I know she mentioned that she would connect with you. So thanks, Brisbane Falls. Any of the other organizations? Rockville, Quinty, LACGH? No? Okay. So we're just going to assume that it's going very well at these organizations and things are chugging along as they should. But if for any reason you have any questions, any feedback, please, it's just an encouragement to bring them back to the working group meeting. And we can try our best to get those answers to you. It looks like most people, everyone has access to the Lumio Library, so that's great. And yeah, thank you so much for bearing with me while we sort through the technological problems on this fine day. And I'll pass it back to Jeff.
Thanks, Tammy. I'm just going to check in with Saad. Saad, do you want me to continue to share and we'll direct through the EEG? Are you up and running?
Just one more minute, Jeff. I'm just opening up the domain, signing in right now.
Excellent. Excellent.
I apologize, everyone. Windows has a brain of its own. It just starts updating whenever it wants. Anything specific, Jeff? Are we focusing on EEGs, BFTs, echoes, or?
Since the topic of the day is EEG and sleep, if we could just start with EEG, and then I did see that you have a KGH sleep lab book that we could, if we have time, go to there. But I think EEG is a good place to start. Helen, would that be something that you guys get requisitions or referrals from outside organizations to perform, or those always coming from Lumio providers?
I will let Lisa Calder is on it, the call too, just to let you know, and Janelle Bailey. So they both take care of the EEG side of things, and they could be from outside of the region. Yes.
Okay.
So if that is the case, Helen, if it's outside of one of the organizations, and in the future it's going to be outside of the organization, I'm assuming that's a paper requisition coming into your clinic, and then you process it. Is there any protocoling involved, or you just write something on it and hand it over to the booking person?
Yeah, Janelle does those bookings, and she and Lisa coordinate that between them.
Okay, and then what happens? They book the appointment and let the patient know that the appointment is booked. What is the process? How does patient know that the appointment has been booked?
So-
off,
Thank you,
Okay.
Lisa.
you're welcome. So it depends. Most of the time it's physicians' offices that call. So over the phone, they're given the appointment and then they notify the patient. If the faxes a requisition after hours, and if the office hasn't given the appointment, then we do call and make sure the patient does have the appointment.
At any point, are you talking to the patient directly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and currently we do all the reminder calls.
Okay, yeah,
Few days
that's
before.
where I was kind of getting towards, because we do have the option for reminder calls. And but anyways, let me just jump into the domain and show you what that process looks like when you receive a requisition, which is called scheduling to orders. So basically for EEG, I'll jump into the domain in 1 minute. This is the scheduling EEG build. We have one appointment type connected to many different orders: EEG with videos, sleep deprived EEG, CEEG, ambulatory monitoring, EEG evoke potentials. There are many different orders. Each has its own duration. We have 3 resources for each procedure. For most of the procedures, we have 3. And some procedures have a specific, so these only happen in room 2, ambulatory monitoring. Evoked potential diagnostics, they happen in room 3 only. Then I will jump into the domain now. Just want to see where this, what's the name of the bookshelf? Where are you from?
I was just wondering if my patient is at LAC and we want to order a sleep study for our patient, inpatient or post-discharge. Can we just enter the order and then it will go to their queue for booking? Is it how that work? I just wanted to confirm that.
If it's Jeff, you want to take that, or do you want me to answer? Jeff, you there? Yeah, if you're talking, you're talking on mute.
Hey, sorry, could you ask that question one more time, Saad?
The question is, if at LECGH my inpatient need to have a sleep study, can we just go in the Lumio, enter the order, and to be done like post discharge or during during the visit, depending on what is the wait time?
Yeah, so we would differentiate that order by flagging it for future or not. So if it's something that's the patient is going to have after their discharge from the hospital, and it needs to be scheduled and booked in advance, we would use the future flag so that we can route that scheduling request to the scheduling request queue, and then the proper folks can receive it, contact the patient, and get it scheduled. If it's something that's going to occur while they are admitted, we would not flag the order as future, and then that study could be performed. But part of that is workflow related. Which are you seeing more often?
Usually after.
Usually after. So yeah, you can still order a sleep study for an inpatient and flag it as future and then allow that scheduling request to be created.
Okay, then that will be for all the same requests for exam like that are done at other facility.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what I want. Thank you.
Yep, and that's going to be the benefit of all of our sites using the same electronic orders, but being able to route them to the proper scheduling queues at the proper organizations or proper sites. So everyone is going to have access to the EEG orders, even if they only get scheduled or only get performed at KGH. They can still be ordered for patients at any of the 5 other sites.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Just jumping back to EEG, and just to remind everyone that the process that I'm about to demo, it's called scheduling to orders, where you receive a requisition and then you proceed with the booking. The other process that Jeff just explained for Marie France it's called orders to scheduling, where an electronic order is generated from within PowerChart, and anyone who has access to the domain, so anyone from PSF, LAC, Brockwell, any of our partner organizations, if their physician wants to send their patient, they will follow the orders to scheduling process, which is going into PowerChart and placing an electronic order, and then that falls into a scheduling request queue. So just want to make sure everyone understands the difference between the two. Okay, so the bookshelf for EEG is KGH EEG bookshelf. There are basically 3 rooms in this bookshelf, and each of these rooms have their resource columns. These are called resources, and each of them have a column within. Under their column, you can see their templates. So there's a slot here, there's another slot. These are the slots where the appointments are booked. If there were existing appointments, you will see them here. But this is not necessarily where you book the appointment. That is just the Books tab to view the schedule and existing appointments. To start booking the appointment, go to the Appointment tab. And the appointment, as I said, there's one appointment type, the umbrella appointment type, and then we get specific when we pick the order. So the only location is Electro, and yeah, that's the only location for EEGs. It will automatically populate, but situation in here. This is very critical. Whenever you are entering or scheduling an EEG procedure this way, scheduling to orders, please always make sure that you fill out the ordering physician field. It's not a required field. Very easily, you can skip it, but it is important that you fill this out, because since this is the physician who will receive the results. This is the physician who requested this exam, so this is the physician who will receive the results as well. If you don't fill this out, the results will not flow. Helen?
So can you put multiple physicians there?
You could, if there's a CC provider, there's a CC provider field in the order itself, but we'll take a look. Or Jeff, do you know if there is a CC provider field?
Let me look at that right now.
We'll
it does
take a
not
look.
it does not look like our EEG orders have a CC provider field currently.
I want to discuss, but I know. Keep going. So, putting test physician and reason for visit. Put a clinical reason why is patient getting the EEG. It's a free text field. Just gonna do demo for now. And this is where you can select the reminder. So as you can see, this field is again not required. It's on the end user when they're booking this appointment, they can select the type of reminder to send out, and you have the option to send out phone, like a cell phone reminder, email, home phone reminder, and a text reminder. The reminders reminders go 3 days prior to the day of appointment. All you have to do is basically select one of these, and then when you're creating the encounter, make sure that the information is there. Okay. Marie France?
Can you remind me if we select that, we can select only one type? It's
Sometimes
text,
it's
email. Is the voice is going to go live also, or just text and emails?
everything is at go live. Everything is going to go live.
Okay, then we can select voice for. Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. Whichever you want, all of them will be active at go live. Right, as I went through those orders in the DCW, these are the orders that you can connect to this appointment. Depending on what is in the requisition or what's decided. Is there any specific one you want me to select? The process for all is the same. I do sleep deprived EEG. So future visit is always yes or will be yes. Requested start date is just defaulting in from as soon as I connected the order, but this will get updated when I assign it a day and a time. Priority, you have the ability to select the priority here if it's that routine today. It's like routine, and then you can put ICD-9 diagnosis code. Then the reason for exam, it's one of these. Which one should I select? But for now, the scheduling location is KGH. Those are the required field. Anything you see in the asterisk and it's yellow, it is a required field. You have to put enter something in those fields. Okay. Then I can click OK, and now I can do the actual booking. So I have the ability to book room 1, room 2, room 3. As I said, each of these procedures have a default duration, and the sleep deprived studies default duration is 110 minutes. So if I were to pick this up, do a drag and drop, which is one of the ways you can schedule, try to put it here, and each of these procedures have a specific slot type assigned to them. So just going back to the DCW, it looks like this can be done in R/CM/SD or one of these slots. So if the booking person knows where to book them, they can directly go to that slot type and assign this slot type. Or if they don't know where this can be booked, which I don't right now, there's another method called suggest. If you click on suggest knows which slot is valid for a certain procedure, how long does this procedure take, and it will return a slot that will fit all the criteria. So right now, as it seems that there is really no slot that can hold 110-minute appointment and is a valid slot. So technically, if you see this, RCMST is a valid slot, and we may have one of those RCMST right here. But the next thing that the system is going to look for is how long is this slot. This slot looks like it's from 8:30 to 9:45, which is a 45-minute slot. But this appointment needs at least 110 minutes. And as it is right now, there is no slot which can hold it. So there are two options at this point. Either you reduce the duration of the appointment or you do an override. I would suggest you look at your templates separately. So at this point, I have two options. I can either force it in for 110 minutes. This is what it will look like. It's basically eating up this EEG routine slot. Or the other option is that rather than doing duration of 1 hour 50 minutes, I changed the duration to 45 minutes at 8:30. Now it will fit. You know?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, I think that is a good idea if we could change the template because the sleep deprives are an hour and a half always. So instead of manually doing those steps, if we could change it. The other thing I would mention is that I'm wondering if, so this is, you're showing us providers that will be requesting outpatient EEGs, is that correct?
Yes. Providers who are requesting through a requisition, a paper requisition.
Through a patient requisition, not, these are outside providers, not part of the
Outside.
6?
No.
Okay.
So that's a different workflow. Order scheduling, where that is where they'll go into Power Chart and place that electronic order. So remember in this step, using the requisition, you picked up an order at the time of booking.
Yeah.
If it's the internal one of the 6 organizations provider, one of the 6 organizations, what they will do is they will pick the same order, but they will go into Power Chart, open the patient's chart, and place the order as a future visit, and then it will flow into your request queue, and you will start the booking from there.
So are there 2 different request queues then for the internal system and the external recs?
External this is where you'll start. You will start by putting the appointment type and putting the patient, filling out these details.
Okay. I don't think any of the reasons for the test are associated with EEG. Is there a way to modify that in the build?
Yeah, the reason for exam, those all belong to EMG. They're not pertinent for EEG.
We have discussed this, and Jeff is changing it in the background so that it's not a you can type in, it's going to be a free text place so that you can type it in under reason for exam.
Okay, thank you.
We'll just follow up with him afterwards again. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Janelle, are you the right person to discuss the templates? Not right now. Don't want to take up too much time. But are you the right person?
Yes, Lisa and I can do that for sure. Yeah.
Are you able to join another call at 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, I'll forward you the invite and we can quickly go over the templates and what what you want for the templates.
Okay, thanks.
Because right now is the opportunity because we are changing templates for PHSC right now.
Okay.
All right. Moving forward. So for now, I just forced it in. I just reduced the duration to 45 minutes so I can continue the booking. The next step is once you assign a duration and a time and a date, which is the 9th October at 8:30 under room 1. Confirm. So each appointment and scheduling has a specific, or sometimes it's connected to the order, sometimes it's connected to the appointment type. This looks like it's connected to the order itself. So order has a specific instruction that you can either read out to the patient if you're talking to the patient as you're doing the booking, or you can later, once you confirm and schedule the appointment, you can print out a patient itinerary or a patient appointment notice and hand it to the patient or mail it out if that is your current process. You can see it's quite a long instruction. So then the next step is this window is view only. This is where you can confirm that you booked the appointment on this day and time for this duration. EEG is the appointment, the location, and it's scheduled in room 1, and the order is sleep deprived EEG. Everything looks good. I'm going to hit OK and then add the encounter, an outpatient encounter. Now we're getting into registration conversation. Janelle, is your hand up from before, or do you have another question?
No, I had no question. My hand was up from before.
Okay, no worries. So a lot of these fields will be pre-filled if the patient has been at any of the 6 organizations, any of the 6 this information, demographic information, will be pre-filled. Whatever was captured previously. The only thing you'll have to fill out is the medical service under encounter information, which is neurology in this case. There are a lot more fields that become required once you do the full registration, when the patient presents and you're doing a check-in. So fill that out and hit OK. Pre-reg date is, okay. Pre-reg date is 8:30. So created the encounter. Now the appointment is booked, shows up in blue on the grid. So if I go back to the books, I can see that this appointment is now scheduled. It shows you the detail, who the patient is, what is the appointment, location, what is the reason for visit that you selected in the appointment, which once, if Jeff is making that change, will become equal to the reason for visit in the order as well. And the status of the appointment. There are other things that you can add in here, but for now I'm just gonna go and show you where to print that notice report. So highlight the appointment, go into this printer icon, appointment report. In this window, go to the person tab, and this is the report for notice, is person itinerary by location. Your location type will be ambulatory, and the location itself is electro ENC KGH. Right here. So when you're ready to print, you can put in the name of your printer. The KGH printer start with KGH, and then you just have to know which printer to print it to. For now, I'm just going to view it. So here are those instructions. So just because all of this cannot fit on one page, there are 2 pages. So you can go to the next page here. Looks like this is repeated. I'll take a look at this. This should not have been repeated. This is up here, but I'll take a look at this. So it will probably fit on one page. I just have to see why is this section being repeated right here for this. Lisa?
So just noticing on this sheet, it doesn't say that it was sleep deprived. And then also in the schedule, it just says EEG, but it doesn't identify it as sleep deprived. So if we look at the schedule, will it not tell us what each of the specific tests are, or is it just going to say EEG for all of them?
So let me just go back here into the appointment. The appointment, yes, appointment will show you what the order is. It's right here. You can have it face up as well. You have the So now I can see the order as well.
Okay,
As long as you
thanks.
have that setting up, sleep deprived EEG. But the appointment notice report itself does not pull in the order. It only looks at the appointment type.
Okay.
But yes, you can definitely see as long as you have the selection made, you can add as much information depending on the size of the slot, the real estate within this appointment slot. You can see all this information, but if you hover over it, it will still show you all the information. There are other ways to look at this appointment. So this is just a grid view. There is an appointment inquiry view where you can do this inquiry. Let me just go to the location one. Here, if there were other appointments scheduled for that day, for this date range under this location, you will see all the appointments listed with all this, all the information, the ordering physician, appointment status, order, duration, date and time, MRN. Any questions? Yeah.
Sorry, Sad. I just had to, there was someone at my door, so I missed a couple things, but I was going to say at the 10 o'clock, we can discuss more and even that appointment slip, what can be removed.
Sure, we can. I'll forward you the invite to know.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Anything else, Jeff, on the agenda that you want me to demo?
No, sir. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you joining us. Sorry for the computer troubles at the beginning there, but appreciate you walking us through this just so we can see directly from scheduling what that looks like.
Absolutely. And I apologize, everyone. I wasn't expecting that Windows update this morning, but just took some extra time.
Looks like we got a couple hands up. Helen, go ahead.
So you'll be showing us the sleep one as well, Jeff, or?
Not on the scheduling side. We're going to look at the orders to make sure we have that part right.
Okay.
But the scheduling portion would work very, very similar from a process standpoint. And then we would have obviously different templates and slots around those particular orders or tests.
Okay.
So very quickly, these are the appointment types that are available for Sleep Lab. At this point, I don't think, Jeff, any of these are orders to scheduling or scheduling to orders.
The MSLT and MWT may be. Let me check on that.
These are currently set up for orders to scheduling.
Are or are not?
They're not.
Not. Okay. I have to take that as a takeaway. So I've got what looks like on the order entry formats that they are, but the scheduling locations are not filtered. And if you don't have it set up, obviously it's not going to work.
What's the name of the order? Return to Sleep Lab? Something?
No, I've got just an order with the name of MSLT. And then I've got another one for, I believe it's MWT.
We can talk about this later.
Okay, absolutely.
Right. Marie France, I saw your hand up as well. Did you have a question or?
I was just wondering about the same idea for the orders for that. I'm uncertain. I was wondering. And then can I just have a general question about the same? It's not sleeping. Is it all the clinic we have orders like infusions or blood transfusion? Is it also like
Infusions you
an
do.
order?
Infusions, yes. There's a generic order, scheduling order for infusion. Same thing for transfusion. There's a specific power plan for both as well, but it's a whole different process. How it
But
actually.
to do in outpatient, okay. It's a different process. There is a meeting, Jeff, that is planned for transfusion, or did I miss it? It seems that it's new on my calendar. And
So we're going to talk about outpatient infusions and transfusions during the ambulatory work group. The next iteration of that is October 22nd, I believe. So that is a little bit outside of this
yes,
ambulatory diagnostics working group.
okay, yes, okay, diagnostic. Then diagnostic would be PFTs, Holter monitor, and all that. That was that.
PFTs, yes, but ECG, Holter, and stress are not. They are specific to cardiovascular, and they are not necessarily covered in this working group.
Okay, echo.
Echo?
Yes.
Yep, we would cover echo here, yes, and it works very, very similar to what Saad showed with some different orders and different scheduling templates.
Okay.
The process is still the same. Marie-France, echoes, PFTs, stress tests. It's very similar process to EEG. You start by booking, again, depends on the requisition or if it's coming internally. If it's internally coming, then the provider goes into the PowerChart, places the right order, or if it's a paper requisition, then you follow the same process of scheduling to orders, where you start by booking the appointment, and that window will pop up where you will select the actual diagnostic order.
Okay.
But the process itself is exactly the same. It's just a different appointment type, different order.
And then all the other ones, they are not like sleeping. They are built for schedule to order and order to scheduling.
Sleep lab doesn't, but the EEG, echoes, PFTs, stress tests, all of them are orders to scheduling or scheduling to orders. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much.
With all of them, I just want to remind everyone again, as we looked at when we were booking the appointment, when you get to the ordering physician, it's not necessarily a required field. System will not prompt you or force you to fill it. But please remember to fill out the ordering physician whenever you know you are going to place an order in the next step in that window, appointment attributes window. So if you're working off of a paper requisition, please fill out the ordering physician. Okay. Stop sharing, Jeff. I think I've taken too much time already.
No. We appreciate it. Thank you for presenting.
No problem.
Yes, thank you, Saad. Thanks very much.
I'm going to look at kind of the other side of this, and I know we're short on time, so I'm going to ask you guys to kind of review this quickly. The EEG orders that were selectable when Saad was creating the appointment are also orderable from PowerChart as a physician or clinician to be able to generate that scheduling request on the scheduling side. So I was going to first off ask you guys to review not necessarily the contents of these orders, but are these all of the EEG orders, the variations of that test that you would need to be able to order?
So the one thing that is missing would be intensive video monitoring. So it's a test that's only done on like the patient is admitted to the hospital for it. So they're an inpatient, but the test can be ordered when they're an outpatient to be scheduled.
Scheduled. Don't have anything for that. Okay. Intensive video monitoring EEG, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. But the process would be, are you saying it would be ordered on an outpatient and scheduled where the patient would then get admitted to have that study performed?
So it can happen both ways. So we have elective patients that when they're seen in clinic by the neurologist, then they fill out the EMU requisition for the intensive monitoring, and then it's scheduled for them to be admitted to the hospital to have it. Or we also have patients who are in the hospital and that they would like the intensive monitoring. So it could be either an outpatient elective visit to be scheduled, or the patient's already in the hospital.
Okay. So it could happen either way, but you would want the ability to schedule that into some of those scheduling templates or slots that Saad was showing previously.
It works a little bit differently, but yes, we would need to schedule them.
Okay. So we'll get that order added. If you want to, Saad, if you guys can discuss perhaps the templates or slots for that in your upcoming meeting here, I think that would be good, but then you and I can connect on getting that order created.
Sorry, what is the name of the order again?
It doesn't exist right now, but Lisa, would it be intensive video monitoring EEG, or do you want EEG as the prefix?
I think intensive video monitoring.
Okay.
Or is it intensive video EEG monitoring?
Well, we can work to get the templates. I'm assuming that can happen in any of the 3 rooms.
We actually only are typically just set up in room 2.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get that info and then we'll get the slots and everything.
Right.
But Jeff, yes, so that will be a separate CR that you're planning to enter then?
Yeah, I believe it will.
Okay. All right, we'll touch base after. We'll get the info.
Okay. Lisa, not seeing anything else missing from this set of orders in the terms of EEG?
No, that looks good.
Okay. I want to jump to, while we just have a couple of minutes, talk about sleep lab orders in the same vein. I know I have an MSLT and I have an MWT, but I'm worried and curious at the same time, are there other variations of sleep study orders that we would need to have present?
I thought you also had diagnostic, therapeutic, split. It'd just be diagnostic sleep study or PSG. I don't know how you've got it coded. PSG.
Let me switch this. Oh, PSG, excuse me.
Yeah. There you go, PSG. Yeah. Some of those codes are just pertinent to billing, but that's okay.
Okay. So do we just need the therapeutic and diagnostic? These would be
therapeutic, diagnostic, split, and the MSLT, MWT. The incomplete is a billing component, which will change later.
Okay. So we would need these here, and these would be the tests that we ordered. Would you ever want them like spelled out versus just the short version of MWT, for example? I think this is what mindfulness of something tests. Do you want them spelled out so people that can find them, or do we want to keep them abbreviated?
I think the people who order them would know. So it's a multiple sleep latency test or a maintenance of wakefulness test.
Okay. Okay, I have no issues with that. Like we said, right now, these are not currently set up to go to scheduling. I can work with Saad on that and hopefully get a maintenance CR input so that we can make these function the same way. I do know that the sleep lab schedule is set up, which we can review further. I know I'm reaching the end of my time, but I'm going to take a screenshot of these so that I know which test we would potentially want to perform orders to scheduling for.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. Sorry to go over. I greatly appreciate everyone's time and attention today. We will catch you all at our next meeting and we will continue these conversations.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Bye, all.